If you want to make money, let's figure something else out. And Gervonta Davis. It's like when you
who do you got?
You guys need to fight guys your fucking same size.
See this fight? Do you see like Tank just having his way with Jake? Like giving like no?
No, I'm telling you, this is what I tell Tank. And Tank said it in the interview. I said, Tank, y'all going there doing y'all thing, woo. I said, he ain't giving you nothing.
Dana White didn't hold back when discussing the showdown between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis, calling the entire spectacle absurd. He slammed the idea that Paul could face a fighter of Davis's caliber under what he repeatedly described as strange and uneven terms. White argued strongly that the rules tilted the balance, making the matchup seem more like a show than a serious sporting contest.
The Jake Paul versus Tank fight is getting really weird. Gervonta looks scared for his life because the rules are out. They're crazy. Oh, so everyone thought that the fight was at 190. Instead it's at 195, and this weight difference is scaring the life out of little Tank.
Over 10 3-minute rounds.
The next dispute comes with the gloves. Little Tank is used to fighting in 8-ounce gloves. Baby glove. This fight will be in 12. Hands might be too small. Also, Tank just fought in a 12 3-minute round fight against Roach.
Yes, and now he's fighting in 10 3-minute rounds, which isn't too bad. Well done, Jake.
Exhibition though, can he win?
Yes, he can actually win. It will be overlooked by 3 sanctioned judges.
So you can actually still win and knock him out.
But here's the trick. It's body punches only.
And there's a reason. That's because Tank said, look, this is a bit unfair. I don't want to punch up. I want to punch at my head height. Where does it fall?
At Jake Paul's belly. Oof. So apparently we've heard there's no knockdown rules, but aside from that, it's a pretty well-rounded fight. Oh yeah, and there's some drug testing involved.
But Jake Paul.
Here are the confirmed rules for the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight. The bout will be treated as an exhibition, meaning neither fighter's professional record will be affected. They'll compete for 10 rounds of 3 minutes each. Both fighters must weigh in at a maximum of 195 pounds for the bout. Each competitor will wear 12-ounce gloves, heavier than the usual glove size at this level. 3 officially sanctioned judges will score the fight, and a winner will be declared if it goes the distance.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a victor, because the fighters have agreed and the commission has approved a maximum weight of 195 pounds for this exhibition. The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds. The fight is 195 pounds, Tank, as you know. The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds, and when Tank and Jake enter the squared circle to go to battle, they will be wearing 12-ounce gloves. Sitting ringside will be 3 commission-approved world-class professional judges that will score every round to ensure there's a decisive outcome for the fight if it goes the distance. And both men are enrolled in the highest level of testing with USADA. So Tank, Jake, thank you for doing this. Thank you for giving boxing another massive moment, headlined by yourselves, featuring multiple world title fights.
Boxing insiders are raising serious concerns about the glove setup for Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. In a matchup where Davis is moving well outside his normal weight class to face a much heavier opponent, his trainer Calvin Ford identified the gloves as a key issue. He pointed out that both fighters are currently set to wear 12 ounces gloves, far heavier than what Davis typically uses in his lightweight bouts.
Actually, when I heard about the fight, they called me and said, what you thought about the fight? I said, the fight doable. You know what I'm saying? Because I watched Tanky for years, and I watched other young men in gyms, you know, deal with big guys. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he's big. To me, it's like Jake having his first open fights. If anybody know about the amateurs going open, then you go pro. So, you know, he's going to fight a guy that does have skills. You know what I'm saying? My only concern is, you know, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fights in 10s. Tank fighting 8s, so he losing 4 ounces. So my thing is, I said, they could put Tank in 8s, put him in 10s. That makes the fight more interesting. You know what I'm saying? And we'll go from there, because I understand. And I brought that question up to one of his hounds. They was, no, we don't want to do no mixed match. It's supposed to be an expedition. what, now y'all want the wins and the loss. You know what I'm saying? All these restrictions, but you want to be great. Being great is really pushing the envelope. You know what I'm saying? Tank don't really care, So when I brought this up, he said, dang, facts. You know what I'm saying? So again, he can weigh the 10s and we weigh the 8s. Then we got to fight,
The weight, how's that gonna work out? Like,
well, they got him at 190, 195. I thought it was gonna be 190, so they gave him 5. So again, they keep giving. I ain't worrying about the weight. You know what I'm saying? We got to deal with it. We taking the fight. We signed the contract. We're gonna make it do what it do.
how much do you think he's gonna weigh like the night of the fight? Like, yeah, and both. Like, is there anything in place where like Jake can't weigh more than like?
Based on how he handling himself through camp. Camp is the most important thing because if you have a good camp, you're gonna have a great fight. So my thing is just making sure the camp is good. We doing all the necessary things, dealing with the weight, the gloves and all that stuff,
Ford instead proposes that Davis be allowed to fight in his standard 8-ounce gloves while Paul, competing at a much higher weight, uses 10-ounce gloves. He argues that this adjustment would make the contest more balanced and fair for both sides.
Jake, I see y'all doing all this betting and stuff, right? And I'm looking at the fight because I'm his coach. This is a very serious fight, and I'm a very serious person. My question to you is, where the 12-ounce gloves come from? Why y'all couldn't take 10 and he had 8? Already he giving up 4 ounces of the gloves. I gotta say this because y'all betting all this money. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, wait. You guys were the ones that wanted 12-ounce gloves, not me. I'll do 8. Fuck, I'll do 4. I'll do 2 ounces. I'll do bare knuckle. Like,
I wasn't aware of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that he can handle himself.
so what do you want? 10 ounce? 8 ounce? What do we
Well,
want?
if he the one said that, I'm gonna go with that. I wasn't aware of that.
No, the 12 ounce came from your guys' side.
No,
and
it's
I
not.
On God, perfect. Then what do you want? 10?
No, I didn't say that.
So 10 ounces.
It don't matter to me. It don't
Perfect.
matter.
It doesn't matter to him. So
It
back
don't
to
matter.
what I always wanted, which was 10 ounces. Great.
Well, you just
Thank
made
you for
something
the.
It don't
clear to
matter.
me. You just
Thank
made
you.
something clear to me because I didn't know because you fight at 10s, he fighting 8s.
Yeah, your
You
guys'
understand what I'm saying?
side.
So I'm like 12
I can
ounces. He's
show
giving
the
up
emails
4.
and the screenshots.
I
You
get
guys
that.
asked for 12 ounces.
It's part of negotiation. I get it.
No,
now.
let's
I
do
wasn't
it.
aware of
10 ounces, 8. Let's do it. That's great. That's going to make it more exciting for the fans. Thank God. I wanted 10s really badly. Let's do it.
Dana White didn't mince words when addressing Jake Paul's matchmaking tactics. He openly criticized Paul for choosing opponents far outside his size or competitive range, saying Paul should fight someone his own size. White highlighted that when Paul actually faced a comparable opponent, he came up short, reinforcing his opinion that these mismatches harm the sport. White has expressed blunt views about the much-hyped clash between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis, calling it heavily one-sided. He noted that Davis hits far harder but is too small to realistically knock out Paul due to the vast size difference. According to White, Paul's weight and physical edge mean that although Davis has the skill, his chances of a knockout are slim since he'll struggle to close the distance and impose his game.
Gervonta Davis. It's like when
Who do you got?
you guys need to fight guys your fucking same size. You know what I mean?
Straight up ignored.
When you fought Floyd, you are massive. You're a massive fucking dude. Floyd's tiny. And I'm sure when you were training, you're like, all right, I'm going to hit this guy with a couple punches and grab him, tie him up. And he did hit you with a fucking bomb of an overhand right one time. And you fucking ate it. You ate that punch.
Logan's like proud of it. He's like, yeah, I did. Hell yeah, I ate that punch from a 140-pounder. You're damn right, dude. Now, granted, it's Floyd Mayweather, but you're still 200 pounds, dog. You know what I mean? This is why, and I agree with Dana on this is why the Gervonta fight makes no sense to me. Because even, yes, Floyd didn't have the punching power Gervonta had. But even if Gervonta lands, I don't see him hurting Jake to the point he knocks him out. So what are we even doing? Where's the idea of this gonna, where's the idea that Gervonta's even gonna hurt him? He may hurt him to the body, you know, whatever. Jake doesn't want to throw as much, but I don't see him one punch knocking Jake out. And, you know, the same thing was kind of said with Logan. Like, okay, Floyd probably won't knock him out, but probably going to outbox him. I get where Dana's coming from. These things are not meant to be competitive fights. They're meant to make money and to, I guess, scratch that itch of the circus mystery unknown.
And Gervonta, I think, hits way harder than fucking Floyd, but he's too small. I mean, your brother's going to be able to, you know, get inside on him, put his weight on him, tie him up. But I don't hate your brother. Your brother's out there doing his thing. But it cracks me up that they want to start suing people that are talking shit when your brother talks more shit than anybody talks.
I think the thought process behind it is, okay, so Jake and I are obviously pretty polarizing individuals, and when an echo chamber starts and a rumor mill starts of like staged fight bullshit, which like these fights aren't staged, you know, that's just, it's at that level, it's like almost impossible. I think they think that it affects the business and it affects the brand because people discredit him as actually having legitimate bouts.
According to recent reports, Gervonta Davis has been steadily increasing his body weight during training camp. He's now reportedly walking around near 160 pounds, even though he's never officially weighed more than the lightweight limit of 135 pounds. This change places him closer to the catchweight agreed for his exhibition against Jake Paul, narrowing the gap and reducing one of Paul's advantages. The added mass could enhance Davis's punch resistance and power, making him a more dangerous and unpredictable foe. Essentially, bulking up may help him absorb stronger blows and deliver heavier counters, altering the fight's rhythm. While still below the agreed catchweight, the weight gain shows Davis's serious intent and readiness to reveal a different version of himself.
Gervonta Tank Davis, it's my prediction that Gervonta Tank Davis is going to weigh in on the night of the fight against Jake Paul, knocking on 160 pounds. Don't be surprised if he's 157 pounds, something like that. You guys see this footage? Look at Tank. Now, if you know what you're looking at, the guy must be around 150 right now, 153, something like that. And you can really tell when he's sideways. When you look at him sideways and see the depth. See, from the front view, you can't really tell. But when he turns sideways, the guy is a wrecking ball. He's literally a baby rhino out there. And I think that is the idea for him to bulk up and be a little powerhouse out there. And I'm all for it. I'm gonna tell you in this video why I think that's the best thing for Tank and why I think he will be knocking on 100.
Most boxing analysts believe that when Jake Paul steps into the ring with Gervonta Davis, he'll face a harsh reality check. They emphasize that Davis isn't just powerful. He spent years perfecting his craft against elite opposition, mastering timing, distance, footwork, and ring IQ. While Paul continues to develop his game, Davis's accuracy is so sharp that a single well-placed punch could flip the fight instantly. Meanwhile, Paul's defense remains basic, his reactions predictable, and his ring awareness largely untested at this level. Experts insist that the gap in skill and experience isn't merely wide, it could prove decisive.
Tank Davis look crazy, bro. Chilaquiles. Gervonta Tank Davis hitting a heavy bag in preparation for his Jake Paul fight November 14th down there in Florida. Man looks absolutely amazing. Man looks like a monster. Man looks like precision. Jake Paul cannot take those body shots. You mean to tell me somebody who done fought UFC fighters and a man with Parkinson's disease can take a body punch from Gervonta Tank Davis and y'all basing y'all logic just because Jake Paul is big? No, Tank's gonna go ahead and put this man to sleep. I'm telling y'all that right now. If Tank don't put this man to sleep, he done let the black community down, he done let boxing down, and he ain't never been that nice. You Tank fans, y'all trying to give him a pass. If y'all said Tank is as skilled as y'all say he is, if he does not put Jake Paul to sleep and stop Jake Paul, his boxing career is absolutely voided. He already don't care about legacy, and just imagine he don't knock out Jake Paul, and now y'all gonna say it's not a real fight, it's an exhibition. No, we not giving no passes, bro. This Gervonta Tank Davis, he needs to put Jake Paul to sleep. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, Jake Paul too big. No, Jake Paul chin ain't never been tested by somebody that hit as hard as Gervonta Tank Davis. Tank should put this man to sleep with ease. I'll say that respectfully. If you don't put him to sleep,
a 2-pack of ass. That shit stinks.
That's a 2-pack of ass at the highest level. And it's a musty energy at the highest level. Get it together. Get it together. Tank looks amazing. That's the Chilaquiles.
Teddy Atlas believes Gervonta Davis is as close to a complete fighter as boxing currently has. He praises Tank not only for his knockout power and finishing ability, but also for his counterpunching instincts, trap setting, control of distance, and mental toughness inside the ring. Atlas sees Davis as patient when required, deliberate in his actions, and always thinking 2 moves ahead, never relying purely on strength. In his opinion, these traits make Davis the one elite lightweight with all the tools needed to defeat someone like Jake Paul, whose style is improving, but whose record still lacks true technical polish.
Real boxer, real world champion boxer. That the only other time he was in for the fans to get mad with that was against Fury's Tommy Fury, but it wasn't that level, obviously, and all the size things you just rightfully pointed out. But he would have been in there with, I mean, it seemed crazy. You're going to go in there with a guy who was a 2-time heavyweight champ and a gold medalist? Wow. Even though the guy's, at a twilight part of his career, still.
And you've given a lot of credit and props to Jake Paul on this show of helping get more eyeballs to the sport, but the way he takes it serious and goes about his approach and his work to this craft, that he does take it seriously. With that being said, when he announces Tank Davis, I'm getting tired of these gimmick fights and him loading the deck up. Whether it was Chavez Jr. or an old Mike Tyson, or we could go on and on with some of the UFC guys and the great Anderson Silva at 46 years of age. Tank Davis, great fighter, current fighter, world champion. We know how good he is. Been a top 10 pound for pound guy for you for the last few years now. But he's 5'5" and 135 pounds. This sounds like it would be a 195 pound fight, an exhibition. Wouldn't count on their records. Not a whole lot of other details other than it will be in November, and it sounds like in Atlanta. But I've said enough. I just want to hear your take. What do you make of this news, Jake Paul and Tank Davis?
But, and I'm smiling a little bit. But back in the day, I love the 1800s, 1700s, my friend out there, 1700s, whatever. But I love the old time fighters that were catch weights. And there was guys like Sam Langford. I know Sam Langford shouldn't even be comparing him with this because he's so special. But I mean, where Sam Langford beat heavyweights. He fought from lightweight to heavyweight and beat heavyweights. I mean, they're back in the day when you had a lot of great fighters fighting each other in catch weights. You did have some smaller guys fight bigger guys. I mean, and you had them. You had success in spots. So I'm half with tongue in cheek, but I'm half serious because I've been in the boxing business.
Do you believe this fight is a genuine boxing contest or more of an entertainment-driven show? Share your thoughts below.